Salut à tous, on se retrouve pour un nouvel épisode sur Genshin Impact, l'épisode 33. Donc on est juste à la suite de l'épisode de la semaine dernière. Donc là les adeptes sont réunis et Tartaglia nous a fui après notre combat. Donc là on est juste après au moment où il me semble où le dieu se réveille de l'océan. Donc là on a rejoint la chambre de Jade avec le Ningguang et tous les adeptes sont là. Donc on va voir ce qui va se
Faced
passer
with a
sur la
calamity of
suite.
such magnitude, we have agreed to put our differences aside for now. And you...
Oh, hi, Genshin. So how do you plan to Just seeing this overlord of the vortex guy puts a pin.
It's not just you. We've got new Millilith recruits who can't even stand at attention without shaking. The force of an ancient god, which is why we must stop that monster before it gets any closer to Liyue Harbor.
So the Archon War was fought 2,000 years ago against
Bon, je pense que les adeptes sont incroyables. Oh, il y a la mamie! Pardon.
gathered here be enough to stop that god?
We've already discussed this together, and our conclusion is...
What? But all of you are supposed to be the god.
One certainly could.
Huh?
The Qi-Sing did once research the matter of the Guizhong ballista when it piqued their fancy, and as fate would have it, one who did craft the Guizhong ballista with one's own... For what could you mortals ever learn of Adepti mechanisms? Yet it would take one, but a little tinkering to turn this ballista into an engine of war beyond your wildest thought. I suppose this is one so be it. We shall use the upgraded Guizhong ballista to fight off that god. All the Adepti here can lend theirs. We haven't a moment to spare. Our battle... Yep.
On va être sur un épisode badass, je pense. Hein. Oh.
The Fatui! They're attacking the Guizhong ballista!
On va avoir un champ de bataille vraiment trop stylé.
The three Adepti are manning the Guizhong ballista. Do not let the Fatui disturb their work.
All able Millilith, with me!
Let's go help too!
We Adepti have not faced a god in several millennia.
Bon, les moins 1.
Let one see what you are made of then. What
Ils ont pas
strength
beaucoup de vie
remains
par
within
rapport
you.
à d'autres.
One wishes to witness.
Donc là, on doit protéger les balises, ok. Pendant qu'ils continuent à tirer, ok, ça spawn là-bas. Bon, tant que c'est de l'eau, moi ça me va. Voilà, lui il faut le faire tomber. Comme ça, hop, lui on le finit. On a déjà un nouveau ultime. Ok, lui il est mort. À mon avis, ça va nous faire aller de l'autre côté. Ouais, c'est vraiment trop stylé par contre. Allez, hop, direct. Voilà, les deux sont gelés. Ok. Il est mort. Ok, donc là normalement ça va respawn ici. Je me trompe peut-être.
That is Osial's divine power. Be careful not to get hit.
Wow. Ah, ça fait mal, hein.
The Fatui! Their attacks are unrelenting!
How dare you? Snegni's diplomats will answer for this afterward. Every last one.
Quickly!
Time to fulfill my duty.
Let it rain. Bet you can't keep up with me. The ancient god's attacking again. There are so many things we do. We can't look.
Were you about to say we can't hold them, children?
Huh?
Don't lose heart. Here, take this.
This is Reptile energy. That light on your body. It's like the time in Giant Heart. Wow, it's not a pink
Okay.
shockwave. This granny's really strong.
No, you're not going anywhere.
Freeze! Looks like I got too far.
Mais ils font quoi les autres?
Freeze!
Bon, pour l'instant on est plutôt pas mal.
Blood of the Chilean, I'd guard you against evil. Cast your fear of injury by the
Ok, donc la
wayside.
capacité de survie augmente, c'est cool.
I
Elle nous
too
revive un peu.
during the Archon War.
Non, parce que je pense que ce qu'on va se prendre là, ça va être terrible. Ok.
My name means swiftness. Take my
Okay.
power and run as I do.
Donc ils m'octroient à chaque fois des pouvoirs qui leur appartiennent sûrement, qui sont... Hop, on esquive un petit peu. Hop, on va s'en prendre un. Wow, je l'ai pas vu celui-là. On va regarder un peu plus le sol plutôt que le ciel. Oh, là il a pris cher.
You are strong in body and spirit. Perhaps you can
On
withstand
maîtrise les
the
trois
forms
puissances
of
en même temps,
depth
ok.
of energy at once.
This will hurt a little. Please bear with us.
Once you've adapted,
Ok, lui normalement il est fini. Et elle est où elle? Ah, parce qu'elle avec ses bêtes c'est trop chiant. On va sûrement aller de l'autre côté maintenant. Allez, hop. Là ça on va aller de l'autre côté. Par contre, pouvoir spam l'ultime, en vrai c'est un peu pété je trouve. Mais bon, tant mieux pour nous.
Exercise caution. I fear that the god's power has reached its peak.
In other words, if we hold here, there's nothing worse to
Ok,
come.
il y a rude de... Oh, il a one shot ses alliés. Ok, ça se rebat là-bas. Ok, faut esquiver en même temps.
The magnificence.
I miscalculated.
The Fatui's numbers are thinning!
Fight on, comrades! Once we finish this hunt off, the Adepti will be able to deal with the god in peace.
Bon, au bout de 10 secondes là c'est bon. Une belle cinématique.
The interlopers are no more. Now we may commit ourselves fully.
Est-ce qu'ils vont se suicider pour... Ah mais visiblement il va retoucher les fonds marins. Oh!
It's working! We just need to keep this up!
Ah eux aussi, non. Ça va briser la glace.
Be careful now.
The Guizhong Ballista is destroyed. Without its covering fire, retaliation shall be difficult.
But the Jade Chamber is our last line of defense. We can't give another inch, no matter what.
I have another idea.
What do you mean, Lady Ningguang?
I'll sacrifice the Jade Chamber. What is the meaning of this?
I understand.
Traveler, lend me a hand. Farewell, old friend. Goodbye for now. Let us meet again in the future.
Ouf! C'était vraiment un combat génial.
Is it finally over?
The ominous aura of that monster has indeed begun to fade. The effects of the sigil of permission last but a short time. It will be some time before the Overlord of the Vortex can make any waves again.
We are indebted to you for your assistance. If the Adepti hadn't happened to be here, the future of Liyue Harbor would surely have been in great jeopardy. Save your flattery. We didn't just happen to be here. Surely you won't pretend to have forgotten the...
Come now. There's no need for such harsh words, Cloud Retainer. I've heard that when Ningguang began learning to do business, she had already started setting aside part of her then limited income in preparation for building the Jade Chamber. At first, it was only the size of a small room, but with continued expansion it has become the palace that lies before. It is a testament to Ningguang's entire life, both as a businesswoman and as seeing the Jade Chamber destroyed in the defense of Liyue means much to her. To me, such cooperation and sacrifice deserves at least...
Well, I was really hoping you would say that such sacrifice could at least be used as some leverage in our... Thank you all for hearing me out. We know very well why the Adepti came here today. But please forgive us. We cannot yield to...
Oh?
3,700 years. According to our records, the Adepti, even to this very day, Liyue and its lands have stood the test of time, immovable as stone, just as it was thousands of... But that does not mean that the Liyue of today is the same city as it was all those years ago. Do not merely cast your protective gaze upon the land. Instead, focus your sights on our city and each of the citizens that dwell within.
Are you questioning our means of protecting Liyue?
I mean no offense. I simply hope that our Adepti forebears would see Liyue in a new light. Forebears, you say? One doubts you would be fit to be part of such a... This morning, Rex Lapis appeared to me in a dream. What? In the dream, I yearned to tell him that we Qixing, though mortal, are equally bound to the contract. I also thought to tell him how the past generations of Qixing had strove under his rule to survive in our mortal world, establishing a network of contracts which has since come to be known as trade. But I dared not speak. I could only gaze at him in silence until...
Oh, Ningguang.
Yet another perspective. What are you trying to say, Outlander?
Right. That's something that happened in Mondstadt. It's a story about the animal Archon sought to quell the strife between the two sides, because he believed that such conflict would only scar the hearts of both, and that nothing...
Each of the 7 nations has its own scars from the past.
Though your point is the very height of simplicity. As Adepti, we've become a laughingstock, to be chastised thus by an...
All right, all right. Didn't Ningguang suggest that we should focus on the city and each of its citizens?
I apologize for appearing in full armor. I am afraid I can't...
And who are you?
I am Feng Yan, a sergeant of the Millilith. I have come to extend my... I thought this battle would perhaps be my last. But thanks to the aid of the Adepti, our forces were not as bad. Although I am a mere mortal soldier, I promise to hold the line and never betray the grace given to...
Huh? Why does everyone look so down?
Weren't you frightened, dear?
I wasn't afraid. All the strong Millilith guards were there, and those powerful heroes with their visions were there. When danger is near, everyone always protects me. And the rest of the time, they make fun toys and thanks for protecting Liyue Harbor. Please, come visit us for the next lantern rite.
Unfortunately, we wouldn't be able to partake
Huh?
because we are Adepti.
Oh, okay. Aw.
You see, this is what Liyue is like. The country of contracts is grateful to the Adepti for their protection. But it is no... Although their blood is weak, there is still strength to be found in those we... The time of contracts between gods and Liyue has long since passed. Now is the time of
Seeing the port around us now, it is hard not to feel a bit out of place.
Your line of inquiry is askew. One did not spearhead...
Seems like the Adepti have had a change of heart.
Let us return now.
Eager to leave,
Yes, one understands what the Conqueror of Demons means. One fears that by the time one finally grasps the new contracts of Liyue, fair enough.
Since we Adepti have consensus, then one shall... But how will we ensure that the Liyue Qixing will not simply exploit their power once we depart?
All right, Mooncarver, you needn't worry. It seems to me that this right of supervision is best left to the people of Liyue.
Looks like the conflict between humans and Adepti was avoided. All's well that ends well, huh? Oh, right! It's nice that we've got Pete. Child wanted to unleash the god, so he could lure... But we were able to handle the Overlord of the Vortex on our... Oh, and speaking of that, don't we still need to get to the bottom of...
Bon, ce fut un épisode court par rapport à d'habitude, mais on a eu plein de discussions, conversations avec les personnages et les protagonistes de cette mission. Et on a avancé dans l'histoire, je pense qu'on a fait un très grand pas dans l'histoire. Maintenant on a eu un combat épique aussi, donc on va aller voir, on va retrouver Zhongli et je pense qu'on ne démarrera pas une nouvelle mission pour laisser un peu le côté épique à cet épisode. Hop, je vais voir si on peut se TP à lui directement. Parce que j'ai un peu la flemme de marcher. Hop. Je crois que j'aurais pu prendre plus proche, mais tant pis.
What's the hurry?
Is there anything I can do for you two?
We've come to see Zhongli.
Unfortunately, Zhongli isn't here at the moment.
Doesn't the Northland Bank belong to the Fatut? Last time we saw Zhongli was before we went to the... Do you think he doesn't know about the attack on Liyue? We had better go and make sure that everything is okay.
Voilà, donc c'est la fin de l'épisode et la semaine prochaine du coup on ira retrouver Monsieur Zhongli à la Banque du Nord comme il est indiqué dans la mission. Donc je vous souhaite à tous une bonne semaine et merci encore d'avoir regardé. Ciao ciao.